What we have for the first bar is this. Okay, so what I'm playing here is kind of like the whole riff is based around a kind of E pentatonic, kind of bluesy sort of idea. Now what I'm doing in the first beat is going to play 12, 15, 12, 15 on the low E string, and this is all strict alternate picking, so I'm doing down, up, down, up. Okay, so that's the first beat. The second beat, I now play 12 in the A string and then 15 in the E string. Once again, all alternate picking here. Okay, so that can be quite tricky because you're doing what's known as inside picking there, where I'm kind of picking inside the two strings. So if you're not used to that, that may take a little bit of work. But this riff is a great riff for kind of practicing those sort of ideas. So first two beats go. The next beat goes. So what I'm doing here is my second finger is going to play 13th fret the A string, then I go back to 15th fret the E string, and then I go 12th fret A string, and then 15th fret on the E string. So it's a kind of. Okay, so the first three beats. And then we end it off by going. What I'm doing here, second to third finger is going to hammer 13th to 14th fret, and then I play 12th fret in the D string. Okay, so I have kind of a little bluesy. So if I put the four beats together, we have. Now we play that 4 times, but in the 4th time, our first two beats are the same. But then what I'm going to play is. Okay, now what I'm doing here is I'm going to play 13 to 12 in the A string, 15 to 12 in the E string, without any pan muting. And when I get to the 12 in the E string, I slide it off. So it kind of goes. So if I play that 4th bar, it goes. Now the next section is really just playing this riff an octave down, with a little kind of variation. So if you imagine we're always doing kind of down here, that's going to correspond to an open E string. Okay, so in the first beat for this part of the riff, I'm doing 0, 3, 0, 3 in the E string. Now what I'm doing here is I'm kind of holding an A power chord with my first finger. So I've got an open A string, my first finger is barring 2nd fret the D and G strings, and my middle finger is going to be playing 3rd fret the E string. So what I have is this. Okay, now what corresponded to up here is instead of just playing an open A string and then going to 3 on the E string, I'm actually going to hit the A and the D string at the same time, just to kind of thicken up the sound a little bit. So what I have is this. Okay, so first beat goes, then I'm playing the A and D strings with the downstroke, then upstroke, 3rd fret E string. Next beat goes, which is essentially this, down an octave. So I'm playing 1st fret of the A string, then 3rd fret the E string, 1st and 3rd finger, then open A string, and then 3rd fret the E string. Okay, so the first 3 beats so far go. Then the last bit, which was our little bluesy thing up here with a hammer on, I'm actually going to pick it all now. So I'm going to pick 1, 2 in the A string, and then open D string. Okay, so this riff down an octave goes. Okay, now the fourth time, or the fourth bar runs through that riff, we now have a, which is exactly the same as this, down an octave again. So if I play those 4 bars, it sounds like this. Now we actually play that twice, so this riff is essentially 8 bars long. So the next riff sounds like this. Now what I'm doing here is mostly playing on pan muted open E string. But what I do to begin with is I do down up, then I'm going to be playing 5 ups. Okay, now you think about kind of keeping your hand doing that alternate picking. What you're doing is you're playing on the kind of the E's and A's of your kind of 1 E and a 4 notes to the beat type idea. So if I was doing it without you know, this kind of mute, which I'll talk about in a second, I'd just be doing, so it's the 2 ups from that down up, so it's like down up. Okay, now the mute, what I'm actually doing is cutting the sound off totally dead here. So I've got my down up, and what I'm doing is I'm using my left hand to mute that string and my right hand. Okay, that way you get this kind of nice punchy kind of heavy sound because there's silence in between each of the notes. So once again, it's down up, rest, then I'm going to do 5 ups with the rest between each one. Okay, then I end that off by doing, so what I'm doing is I'm going to play open A string, hammer 0, 1, 2, the first and second fingers. So it's a little bluesy idea again basically, and then open D string. That bar goes. Then the 4th bar, what I do is I basically do down up, and then we have 3 upstrokes, and then I'm going to have 2 of those little bluesy ideas with a gap in between, so it goes. Okay, so if I put those 4 bars together from this riff, it sounds like this. Now the riff following this kind of develops this previous one with the. What I'm going to be doing is I do a bar of that, then I have my down up 1, 2, 3 upstrokes again, but now I have this little riff that goes. So what I'm doing here on beat 3 is I'm going to do a hammer and pull off 0 to 1 to 0 in the A string, my first finger. Then I'm going to play 2, 3 in the E string with my second, third finger. Pan muted, so it kind of goes. Okay, so it's. And then in beat 4, I do the same thing, 0 to 1 to 0 hammer pull off on the A string. But then I do 3, 1 on the E string with my third and first finger. Okay, so if I put that slowly, the first half of beat 3 goes. So it's my 0, 1, 0, 2, 3, and then I do 0, 1, 0, 3, 1. Okay, so now we have a kind of 2 bar riff that we play twice to give us our 4 bars. So if I play those 4 bars, it sounds like this. Okay, so if I play through each of those sections, we've essentially got kind of 4 riffs. So our first riff is this one. Okay, our second riff is this one. Our third third riff is our. And then a fourth riff is a variation in that one. It goes.